Hello and welcome to the Grianaig Creations Podcast. This is episode 55. My name is Kirsty and I am coming to you from the west coast of Scotland. You can find me on Instagram as Grianaig_Creations. You can find me on Ravelry as little-b, and there's also a Ravelry group under Grianaig Creations Podcast that you can come and join us, where at the moment a lot of the chatter is about the 2020 stash bust that's going on. And basically that is that we are going to try and work from stash for 2020. That doesn't mean we can't buy new yarn, but it basically means we're going to try and make a conscious effort to pick from the stash that we currently have and make projects from that. So let's jump in, shall we? My eyes are a wee bit watery because it is a lovely bright sunny day out, but we've had a lot of storms recently and I don't think they're over yet for the day, but there is a glorious blue sky in front of me and it is causing my eyes to water just a little bit. So today I have one complete finished object for you. Still has its ends to be woven in and cut off and is still to be blocked, but it is a finished object nonetheless. I have a half finished object and I have a new cast on to talk about as well. So let's jump in. My first finished object that I have, I'm going to have to move a wee bit further away, is my worsted weight boxy, which is complete. It just doesn't look good at the moment because everything's rolling. So I have a contrast bind off on the neck, both sleeves and the waistband. So I'll try and insert a photo of me wearing it. But it does need a good block, but it is finished. Finished and off the needles. So this was in a timeout for quite a while because I wasn't happy with the length of the body, but I also really wasn't happy with how much I'd given myself in the arms. So I talked to my mum about it and she agreed that it needed to be longer on the body, and so I'd have to rip out the arms anyway. So I'd only just started a sleeve. I think I'd got about that much of the sleeve started. My cat wants in. They're not gonna go away. Pausing. And we're back. So yeah, I'd only done so much of the sleeve anyway, so it wasn't that much to rip back, but I had completely finished the shoulders on both sides, so I had to unpick the join because that was a 3 needle bind off for the top of the shoulders, and then I had to rip down until where I had separated for the sleeves. So it was a fair amount of work. Get comfy. It was a fair amount of work in that aspect, but it was not too much so that I'd be happy with the garment. So at the end of the day, I'm really happy that I ripped it back and I added that length. I also gave myself more depth in the arm, which is definitely going to make it a more enjoyable wear. But the thing is that I've noticed that when I was trying it on, the yarn is 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And what I noticed is I have eczema on the top of my back, and that kind of spreads down a wee bit of my arms as well, and it often goes onto my chest. Wearing this was like having flames touch your skin, and it was really, really unpleasant. I couldn't wait to get it straight back off again. So that's a wee bit concerning that at the moment I can't wear it. So I have some full length, like full sleeve t-shirts that go like up round to the neck. So I'm going to try block it first and see, like maybe use conditioner instead of soak or Eucalan, and see that maybe the conditioner might soften it a wee bit, and then I'll try it with my long sleeve t-shirt on and see if that helps. If that doesn't do the trick, I am going to have to gift this to somebody, because I'm not going to make myself wear something that actually quite hurts. So I'm a wee bit disappointed in that aspect, because I don't normally, when I'm seeing if a yarn is suitable for me, I certainly don't hold it to my back. I would hold it to like my neck, where I thought was the most sensitive. But it turns out I probably should be holding it to my back, but if I'm going to hold it to my back where I have eczema, I'm certainly not going to do that and then put the skein back. That's just wrong on so many levels. So live and learn. I will soak this in conditioner. Hopefully today. I have quite a bit on my plate today. I'll get this soaked in some conditioner. I'll block it. Well, I'll weave in the ends, then I'll soak it. Then I'll block it, and then I'll cut the ends. But it could be that I might have to gift this to somebody. So we'll see, because I'm not even sure who would want it. But it is what it is. I've learned. I've got 2 packets of this yarn in 2 different colours. One in a really gorgeous purple, one in a really gorgeous red, that I might need to destash if I can't wear this yarn at all. Which is a shame. It is a shame. Because it was very affordable yarn. It was the Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in the worsted weight. This is in the Calypso Heather. And the contrast yarn was just a scrap. It's actually got a bit of sparkle in it as well. So it makes for a really nice contrast that I know not everyone loves, but I liked it. So yeah. Finished object I might not be able to wear. Yay! Okay, so let's put that down. Let's take a drink. Okay, so my next object is my half-finished object, so my whole. And I am ridiculously proud of this. And for the sake of saying this out loud, because I know somebody will be like, get upset with me, I'm not gloating when I say this, I'm just merely stating fact that I got this sock knit in 2 days. And when I say that, it needs to be taken into consideration that I do work 9 to 5, and this was knit over Thursday and Friday. But I got this knit in 2 days. I cast the toe on Thursday morning, and then by Thursday night I'd got up to where I would want to put the heel in. I've done a fish lips kiss heel. I got that done Friday morning, and then I got the leg of the sock done and the cuff on Friday night. So I'm really over the moon that I got this done, and not because it didn't take me too long, but because I lost my mojo for the longest of time, and my body has been telling, well, my head has been telling me, just knit a sock, knit a sock, knit a sock. Just a nice vanilla sock. Something you can look forward to wearing, something you're going to enjoy making, and I didn't do it. For the longest time I didn't do it because I had carried over 10 whips into the new decade. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year! I'd carried 10 whips over into the new year / decade, however you want to look at it. And I didn't want to have that many coming over with me. But as it is, it happened. 4 of those are blankets, so they're big projects. So I kind of told myself no new cast-ons until you get down to at least 7 whips. I got 1 finished and bound 1 off, so that is 8. I've got 8 left, which isn't too bad. But I told myself no new cast-ons until you've got 7 whips. That's a good amount to have. And so I slugged on with some other things. I didn't really want to work on them. I just wanted to knit a vanilla sock. And then on the Thursday morning I was wrestling with one of my other socks that I had knitted, and the cuff was way too tight to get over the instep of my foot. and I struggle with those socks every time I wear them, and I've not ripped the bind off out and done it again because I can't find the yarn that I bound off with, so I'm going to end up with a shorter cuff on one than the other. But that would just be me that sees it, but at the same point I'm not dying to do it. So after fighting with a sock, I decided to cast one on after all. And the fact I got this done in 2 days just blows me away, and it just makes me really happy. But I don't think I'm going to get the other one done as quickly, and I'll explain why in just a second. But the yarn is That's Enough Black Speckles by Mothy and the Squid. The contrasting cuff yarn is a scrappy mini that I got as part of an advent calendar from a friend. So I don't know the yarn, but I am loving this yarn, like loving it so much. I got it at Be Inspired Fibres in Edinburgh, and I picked it up a good couple of months ago now. So I've been dying to cast this on for a pair of socks. Like, that's what it was always destined to be, was a pair of socks. And I have, if I could get untangled, oh no, what have I done? Right, let me try to figure this out. So I do have the next one started. We've got one more increase round for the toe, and then I'll start, it'll be the body of the foot. So it's not going to be done too soon. I'm not going to have it done in 2 days basically. Cast this on yesterday. That's all I got done yesterday, like at all. And there's good reason for that, and that's one of my next projects. But I am ridiculously happy that I did cast these on, and I'm going to keep these for wearing in New York, which is really soon. Can't believe it. I'm keeping these in my Adipoise bag, which is from Doctor Who, and they just make me really happy. Like, it feels so good to have a project that just fills you with happiness, because I like my other projects, don't get me wrong, but sometimes all you need in your life is a vanilla sock. Just saying. So that's my faux and a whip. I'll show you the 2 other projects that have been getting a wee bit of love before I show you the new project that's getting all my attention just now. So since the last time I've shown you, I have been working on my granny square. So it has grown. This dark blue row was where you last seen it, and I've got a good couple of rows done. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 10 rows done since you've last seen it. So it's growing slowly but surely. It's one of those projects that I'll pick up and put down. I'll maybe put like a row on it and then I'll put it down again. But yeah, it's getting there. Let's move the progress keeper just now before I forget. And that way, next time I show off, it will. So that's me move the progress keeper. This is a progress keeper from my friend Aileen, who is Little Bush Baby Makes. That was part of our collaboration for Perth Festival of Yarn. So this will get maybe some love over the next couple of weeks. I can't say for certain because I do have a new cast on. As I keep teasing, I know I'll get to it. And then the other project that has been receiving some love on and off, and that's purely because of the yarn, because it keeps giving me blue fingers, are my mittens for New York. So they both have thumbs. I'll put one on. And they are both down to the wrist now. So I'm about to start the 3rd colour, because this was a pack of mini skeins that went through from this beautiful turquoise, like teal turquoise, to a very, very, very pale blue. So I want to make these elbow length so that I can pull them up if it's really chilly, or I can kind of squish it all down and keep more of my wrist warm, because I do have kind of like arthritic joints in my wrists. So yeah, pretty pleased I've got a good amount of work done in this. Again, I've made it so long at the fingers so that I can fold it down, or fold it even further down, depending on the temperature in New York. And these will also probably be used in the house when I get them finished, because my office, which is this room here, gets really kind of chilly. So these will be good. So yeah, I'm working them semi-concurrently, especially when it comes to the decrease rounds. I'll work them concurrently completely. But if I'm only doing straight rounds, then I work them kind of like semi-concurrently. So I'll do like 5 to 10 rows on one, do 5 to 10 rows on the other. But I'm about to start doing some increases for the forearm, because I've got kind of chunky forearms, and I want to make sure it's a nice fit and not a tight fit. So I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to this. So I have the next mini skeins all wound up, ready to go. This will be getting us some love on and off over the next couple of weeks, because it is only, let me check my countdown, I've got a wee countdown app. It's 43 days until I go to New York. So the one at the top, the 40 days, is till when I knock off work, because I finish up work on the Friday before I go at 5 o'clock. And that will mark complete mode for going into holiday, and slight panic for making sure I have everything packed and ready to go. And then it's the 43 days until we actually are going to the airport and we're leaving. So I've been talking about a new cast on, and I'm really excited about this, but also kind of nervous. I put myself forward for being a test knitter, and I put myself forward for being a test knitter for Verity of Truly Hooked, and I have done my swatch. Yes, it is white yarn, I have not dyed it, but it's sparkly. Don't know if you guys can see that very well. So this is some yarn that I had undyed from when I was dyeing yarn, and it's super fine merino. I don't know if it's super wash or super fine merino with lurex. So that's what the sparkle is. And this is a DK weight sweater that I am testing. So all I have just now to show you is a tangle of yarn. No, all I have just now is the cast on. So I started this yesterday when I got in, because I found out when I was out yesterday that I'm going to be a test knitter. So you can see the sparkle there. So this is just the cast on, and it's bottom up, and it's a sweater. So I am so excited to make this. The deadline for this is the end of March, so I'm going to be mostly working on this, but also trying to get my mittens finished, because it's the end of February that I go to New York. So I'll be dividing my time between those two projects and the sock as well, because socks don't take too long to do. But I'm really excited to be a test knitter for Verity, because I love the pattern. Let's see if I can bring it up on Instagram. Dun, 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 dun. So this is the sweater that I am going to be test knitting. So it's got a kind of bat wing at the shoulder here, and then it's got fitted sleeves, and it is a little bit cropped as well. So that's going to be really good, because I love wearing my Amma sweater which is cropped, and I like the looser arms, but I like how it's fitted here. So it is my aesthetic. I don't think Verity's is is as oversized, but it does have positive ease. So I think it's more fitted around the kind of the waist area, and then the positive ease is more kind of up here. So it's going to be really interesting. And then when I'm done and taking all the pictures and all that Verity needs with my notes and stuff, I am going to be popping the whole sweater in a dye pot. It could go terribly wrong. We will see. But it's still going to get dyed, because I don't think a white sweater would suit me. I like colour. I like bright colour. So the plan is to dump the whole lot in the dye pot when I'm done. I could have done it before, but I was really eager. I found out yesterday that I was going to be the test knitter. I cast on yesterday, so I didn't have the time to dye up the skeins. I could have, but I wanted to cast on too much. So I'm just going to hope and pray that with a really good soak and some citric acid and then popping it in the dye pot, that will do the trick. So that is the project that I have been teasing. It's really not much to show just now, but it should be really good, like the more time I get to knit on it. So yeah. What the eagle-eyed amongst you might realise is that I had talked about casting on the Marled Magic shawl. Haven't done it. Haven't even started it. Haven't even bought the pattern yet. And right now I don't think I will be buying it. So the Marled Magic cowl will not be going ahead just now. I might postpone it and start it once I've finished the test knit. So apologies to anyone that may have started it, but I haven't heard from anybody, so yeah. But yeah, this is where my joy is lying just now, between my sock and the sweater. I'm not going to say the joy with the mittens, because again it keeps turning my fingers blue. Once they're knitted, I will set the yarn again in citric acid and kind of just let them sit and cook. I say cook. Let them sit in citric acid over the hob and see if that will help set the yarn, because I really don't want blue fingers anymore. It's a bit of a pain. And then I'll be working on this a lot. This is one of my bags. I feel like I've got my knitting mojo back. It's taken me what feels like forever. It has been months. It has been absolute months since my mojo initially went. And now I feel like I have the right projects to get me back on track. So I still have other whips I haven't touched. And I don't foresee myself. I don't see myself. I don't know. I don't see myself really touching them just now with the projects I have on the go at the moment. But that doesn't bother me. I'm not going to put myself under any pressure or stress to kind of pick up everything and do a wee bit on each one. So we'll see. We'll see how that all goes. But yeah. That's all the knitting content. Just gonna talk a wee bit about the 2020 stash bust that's going on. You can find all the details for that in the Ravelry group, which again is Grianaig Creations Podcast over on Ravelry. And there's a lot of good chatter going on in there, a lot of photos as well that's popping up. So there's now 3 threads for it. There's the non-chatter thread for submitting pictures of your yarn and your usage. There is the chatter thread that you can put up like pictures of your whips, what you're thinking of working on. And then we also added a faux thread. So pictures of finished objects you've made with your stash. So that's a wee bit interesting. So I popped in photo of my worsted weight boxy. Not all the yarn was counted in that because I did start the worsted weight boxy back in September. So 186.9 grams of my yarn could get counted in the D-stash because that's what I had on the 1st of January. So I weighed all my yarn for all my whips apart from one, because I can't find it. There is a missing in action crochet project somewhere in my bedroom right now. I'll find it eventually. I think I know what it is, and I'm certainly not gonna try and dig it out, because last time I moved stuff in that area, a whole unit fell on me and it hurt very much. So certainly not going to be moving that. And I don't plan on working on it anytime soon, but I wanted to count it anyway. But it's been great watching people using their stash. It's been wonderful seeing pictures of people's stash. Like some people have the most amazing colours. Like Annika, for example, she has the most colourful stash I think I've ever seen. It was beautiful to look at. And a lot of people have just been a wee bit more sensible than me. I took a photograph of everything, whereas other people have been like, right, I'm going to make socks with this, I'm going to make a sweater with this, I'm going to do this with this, and that's all they've photographed, which was really smart. In hindsight, that's probably what I should have done, but I feel like once I've kind of assigned something to something, I feel like once I've assigned a project to yarn, I don't want to do it. So, for example, like I knew I had offered to be a test knitter for Verity, and I didn't bother to look out yarn. I was just like, I've got DK somewhere. And yeah, I didn't have enough DK in yarn that I had in my stash, so I went to yarn I had in my yarn dyeing stash and I found that instead. So I don't know if I'm going to count that in the D stash or not, because I never photographed it, but it is stuff I've had since last year. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I have a bag order to make today. Today is Sunday. I go back to work tomorrow, sadly. But I got a bag order to make today. Once I've got that done, like cut out, sewing, everything, I can get back to knitting. I've started watching the new Sabrina on Netflix. I had watched season 1 before and I'd finished it, and I was waiting for season 2 coming out. And it's been out for a while now, but I haven't actually sat down and watched it. But last night Scott started watching season 1, so I've kind of started re-watching it again, which is a good refresher. So I'm going to finish watching season 1 and then start on to season 2, because season 3 should be coming out soon. And yeah, that is my day. Not much else to say. I just want to wish everyone a happy new year, because I didn't really do it at the start because I forgot. I hope you all have made reasonable resolutions, if you've made any, and by that I mean I hope you're not going to put pressure on yourself to lose weight. I for one have decided that I'm going to be fabulously fat this year, but I'm also going to stop overeating because it's not agreeing with my Crohn's disease, and I have to put my Crohn's disease before my appetite sometimes, because I'm eating all the wrong things and it's making me sick, and I know that if I eat something really fatty or greasy I'm going to get sick, and yet I'm still doing it. So I need to focus more on eating better, but I'm certainly not putting myself on a diet. I am sick of going on diets. I am sick of putting that pressure on myself. I am lovable and fine the way I am and the size I am. So this is the year that I am going to be fabulously fat. I am going to knit for my size and not the size I want to be. I am going to enjoy the food that I can, as long as it doesn't make me sick. Because whole other side rant, my Crohn's disease is fairly well maintained. I take some very strong medication to try and not be ill, or not be in a flare-up, as we call it. But certain foods are instant triggers, so I need to stop eating those instant triggers, which should make me better, essentially. But at the same point, I'm not going to limit myself and be like, oh, I can only eat X, Y, and Z and not eat other things that I love that don't make me sick. I am totally 100% rambling now, but this is the year of being fabulously fat. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to accept my body for how it is. I'm going to knit for my body and not the size I wish I was. I'm going to enjoy all the food in America when I'm there. And I'm going to try and podcast more often. I say that, and that will go out the window. But those are my only 2 resolutions this year. Be fabulously fat and try and podcast more often. How hard could that be, right? This is where it all goes to plot. All goes out the window. But yeah, I'm now rambling. There's no more knitting or crochet to show off. And you're probably all sitting there going, that Kirsty, shut up. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll join me in maybe 2 weeks' time for the next podcast. And leave any comments below, or come and join us in the Ravelry group and say hi. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.